What's up, Cuppeteers, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Christina J. It's Wednesday, and that means it's time for another video. So this week is Thanksgiving, so I wanted to give you guys like a warm Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving, whatever giving look for you guys. So if you want to learn how to do that look, then please keep watching the video. And to start off, I'm gonna go in with my Olay Complete Daily Moisturizer with Sunscreen. To put this product on, I use this dotting motion that I'm showing you guys right now, and then I rub it all in. I like to use a sunscreen / moisturizer in order to prime my face and also protect my face from these harmful sun rays. It is very important to do this step, and I really recommend you doing it before you put on any makeup. Now that our face is nice and moisturized, I like to go in with two primers. The first one I use is the Benefit POREfessional Pore Primer, then I go in with my Milk Hydro Primer. I use the same motions as the product before in order to put both of these products on my face. You might be wondering why I use two different primers in order to prime my face. Well, the two different primers I use do different things. The first one covers up my pores, so it gives my face a nice and clean canvas to work with, and then the second one I use gives a nice and grippy feeling so that the foundation and any other makeup that I put on my face sits well on my face and make sure that it stays on all day long. That is why I've been using two different primers, because I think that it works better when I use two instead of just one. Now that my face is nice and primed, I'm going to be going in with my Juvia's Places I Am Magic Foundation. For foundation, I use a similar technique as I used the primers and moisturizers before. I put it on my sponge and then dot it all over my face before blending it out. I use a sponge when mixing my foundations because I find that using a sponge to put on foundation is much cleaner and it doesn't leave as many streaks as if I did it with my fingers or did it with a brush. It is also important to blend from the inside of your face to the outside of your face to give it that nice and natural look. Now I'm going to go in with my Juvia's Places I Am Magic Concealer just to give my face a little extra help where it needs it. What I mean by that is the places that I need more coverage in. Usually for concealers, you pick 1 to 2 shades lighter than your foundation tone. So I put my concealer in the places I need it most, so typically this means underneath my eyes because of eye bags, over my eyes because I like to use it kind of as a primer, and on the bridge of my nose to highlight that, and any other spots that I have more blemishes or any other imperfections that I would like to cover up. When blending out my concealer, I like to use the same technique that I used with my foundation. This means that I like to blend from the center of my face into the outside to make sure it's nice and seamless. I also like to blend down my neck and near my chin area to make sure that my face and my neck match. Alright, so I'm going to be doing my brows off camera, but if you want to see a video of where I do that, then please check out one of the links below because I do go in detail on what I do for my brows. Alright, so my brows are on and now it is time for powder. Today I'm using my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder and I'm just going to be baking under my eyes and a few other places that I need it. In order to do this baking process, I take a damp beauty sponge and just put it into the baking powder and put it on my face. I usually do underneath my eyes and also in the bottom of my face near the chin area. This is to set the creases into place so that our foundation and concealer does not crease throughout the day, and then also highlight some places that we need to bring out, including the areas that we might have used concealer on. I also like to go in with the powder and put it in other areas of my face just to make sure everything else sets in place as well. Alright, now it is time for the eyes. They have already been primed with my Urban Decay Primer, so I'm going to go into the Yes Please palette by ColourPop. Grabbing my Morphe M441 brush, I'm going to dip into this Big Cocktails orange shade and put it in my crease. I really like using this brush as a transition brush because it's really fluffy and it's also super easy to use. So go ahead and get that if you are very interested in having an easy to use transition brush. I like to put most of the eyeshadow into the crease and some onto the lid, any excess that I have, and then I do that on both eyes and using windshield wiping motions to make sure that it's really in there. And to deepen this up, I'm going to be going into my ColourPop She's a Rainbow palette. I'm actually filming another video with this palette, so if you do see it in the other video, please just like act like you don't see it. But I am loving this palette so much that I decided that I wanted to include it in this look. So I'm dipping my e.l.f. crease brush into this orangey red shade down here and just putting it in my outer V and deepening the crease. The e.l.f. crease brush is just a deeper crease brush with semi-fluffy, but it's also very dense, so I like to use it on the outer V. I noticed that it doesn't blend that well. You can, but it does take a lot of time, so I really just use it to pack on the color that I want, and then I go back in with my Morphe 441 brush in order to really make it seamless and blended. So when I use the M441 brush, I kind of use these circular motions as well as the windshield wiping motions. When I use the e.l.f. crease brush, I usually just put it on the places I want and not really have a certain type of motion with it. Alright, now I'm going to deepen up the crease even more with my ColourPop Yes Please palette. I'm mixing the Note to Self and the French Kiss. And really just using the same motions and the same brush as before, but instead of concentrating on the crease and the outer V, I'm really just concentrating on the outer V to give it that more dimension type of feeling. Also, don't worry about where you're putting it because we're obviously going back with the Morphe 441 brush to blend it all together again, using the same circular motions as before. And now going back to the She's a Rainbow palette, I'm taking a flat brush, dipping into this beautiful glitter shade and putting it on my lid. Obviously you can use your finger to put the glitter shades on as well. I just chose the flat brush because I feel like I have more control with the flat brush. I also prefer it that way because then I don't get glitter all over myself and all over my finger. However, I found that when I did use the finger to put the glitter on, I did give more payoff, so it just depends on what you want to do. Either one works really fine. You can also choose to cut the crease underneath it in order to give more payoff, but I just didn't because I feel like the glitter was already shiny enough. Now it is time to take off all of this powder. I wait to do this step now because I find that if I have eyeshadow fall out, then it is a good way to just let the powder catch it and I wipe it off later. So that is why I wait until now. I just take a big fluffy brush and just wipe it all off. Right now I'm going to mix Big Cocktails from the Yes Please palette and the red orange shade from the She's a Rainbow palette together and I'll drag it on my lash line. This step really just balances the top of my eyes and then the bottom of my eyes to make sure that they're even. I really just do it for aesthetic purposes. Alright, now I'm going to do my lashes and falsies off camera. Lashes are done, so it is time to finish up the eyes with some inner corner and brow bone highlight. I'm just going to be using my Urban Decay Naked Luminant Highlight. A good trick for putting on some inner corner highlight as well as brow bone highlight is setting the brush with some setting spray before you go into the eyes. I did this with my ColourPop Rose Quartz Crystal Priming Spray and I just got a lot more payoff and made it shine a lot more brighter. So eyes are officially done. I'm going to be going in with my Hoola bronzer to put it all over my face. You guys already know that I love this product because I've been using the mini version for a very long time now and it still hasn't hit pan yet. So basically when I contour or use bronzer, I use bronzer as a contour, which I really shouldn't do, but I do it anyways. So I put it in the hollows of my cheeks to make the illusion look like I have some cheekbones, and then I also go in underneath my chin to make my jawline more defined. I also go in on my forehead to make sure that my forehead doesn't look that big. And then finally I go in on my nose to make sure that my nose looks more snatched, I guess, and more tall. Now it is time to put on some blush. I'm gonna go in with my Milani Coral Kohl brush and just put it on apples of my cheeks and right above my bronzer. You guys know that I don't like that much blush, so I just put very little amount right on top of my contour. And to finish off the cheeks, I'm gonna go back in with my highlight and just put it on top of the cheeks and also the bridge of my nose. I have tried a couple different brushes in order to use my highlight. I found that the one that is given with the Urban Decay Naked Illuminated Highlight works pretty well, so I use it. Now I'm gonna blend it all out with my Too Faced brush. This is just an extra step that I like to do. You don't have to do it, but I like to do it to make it more flawless and blended. And to finish up this look, I'm gonna just tone it down a little bit because I feel like so much is already going on. So I'm just gonna go in with my New Lust Maybelline lipstick. I don't really have any tricks with lipsticks because I haven't really been into them for that long, but you can use a lip liner to help you with lipsticks if you want. I also like using the Maybelline lipsticks because they're really easy to use and they're super affordable as well. Now I'm just gonna go in with my AOA lip pop just to give it a little extra sparkle. Alright, now I'm just gonna set this all into place with my ColourPop priming spray. Alright guys, so this is the finished look for your Thanksgiving meal, Friendsgiving meal, whatever giving meal. If you enjoyed this look, then please go ahead and click that thumbs up button to tell me that you enjoyed it. Also leave a comment down below to say what you want to see me do next. And if you want to stay up to date with my makeup adventure, please hit that subscribe button down below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye!